Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. What's up, everybody? Give me one sec. What's up, busy? Let me get some tweets going here. Okay, we're back. What's up, everybody? There were two tweets that I thought summed up what's possibly going on here. The biggest thing was everything was selling off, so that's a risk off day. That's a risk off move. I'm gonna hit that again later when we're talking about sentiment and like where to be positioned in thinking about sentiment. You know, it's like, are we in a risk on GME regime, a risk on trending regime, or is this some sort of risk off thing? Are equities doing well? Are certain sectors doing well? Are healthcare, consumer staples doing better than equities? Like, I'll take a look at SCHD. You want to talk about defensive? That really tells you a lot about where this market is right now. In that people are positioning risk off. Who knows whether or not that pays off, but positioning risk off. So that says risk off stuff is probably more favorable than risk on stuff. That means risk on stuff is more bearish, easier to be sold, easier to go down. People perceive risk on as overbought sentiment wise. You know, look at Nvidia, look at IGV, which we'll talk about a lot. But so these two tweets, you know, before this, people were talking about IGV and BTC a lot. IGV is the software ETF. A lot of the Mag 7 are in there. Short Bear wrote this up, basically saying that a lot of this is related to the potentially related to the yen carry trade unwind. It has footprints in Asia, in Hong Kong, in Binance. All this stuff is sort of related. I'm not going to rehash the tweet, but it's puts out an interesting hypothesis on what's going on here because of the really direct correlation between IGV and BTC lately. And the takeaway is kind of like, look, this is not a fundamental viewpoint on the future of the network. I wouldn't even consider like quantum being a big part of why this is selling off. It's not helpful. Like, is any FUD that's real FUD, is any real FUD helpful? No. Like, do we have a quantum solution yet? No. So that's a worry for some people, right? Just is what it is. The second part of this story, tweeted out by this guy, the other Parker, talking about in-kind ETF subscriptions, covered call, again, more types of leverage, reducing volatility. It's all kind of related. You know, it's like piecing all this stuff together. We knew about in-kind stuff for a while through the ETFs. We knew about IBIT. We knew about OGs effectively selling but not selling through the in-kind portal on IBIT. Basically, you send your coins to an AP. An AP allows you to get shares of IBIT, and that is a tax-free event. And then you can use it as collateral. You can use it in options. You can do covered call strategies, whatever. So it does dampen volatility, and they go over that. But if somebody's like super levered up on this, and or they're levered up on low vol, whatever, right? They could have also been heavily impacted by the events over the past couple weeks, couple months, yesterday. It just depends, and this is sort of saying, it's collectively saying that there's a lot of different types of leverage going on that are related to BTC, not related to BTC. And then, of course, alts down the stack are just collateral damage relative to BTC. So regardless, I still think it's a bear market. I don't think that's changed. And for me, it's always going back to the daily cloud, going back to the weekly. What does that look like? If you don't like that, if you want to simplify it, just use the 50-200 moving average on the daily. If we're below the 200, bad things happen. Nothing good happens in the club after midnight. Nothing good happens below the 200-day moving average. And we've been below the 200-day moving average on BTC since November. It's just, it's expectations, it's sentiment. Like, what do I expect? I expect poor, non-constructive, garbage price action. Same thing with the cloud. And you can look at 2022. What happened up back here, right? Same thing. Just is what it is. When you're above, bullish things tend to happen. And this is any asset. This isn't just BTC. You could say, well, why not like the 365 moving average? I guess you could. You could use that if you wanted to, but whatever. I also like, for BTC specifically, I like the 20-week moving average. That to me has been like just dead on the money. 2016, 2017, 2020. Even here, it's been noisier, but generally gives you a pretty good idea. It's a reality check. Like, okay, are we above or below? Pretty simple. We're below. Okay. You can't expect anything super turbo uber bullish until, to me, we start trending again, whatever that means. So just a simple litmus test. It says, hey, this is a bear market, period. The weekly's ugly. This is ugly because historically, if we get below the cloud on the weekly with a bearish cloud, we are there for a while. Sit tight. A year, right? That means October 2026. It's going to be a long, long year. This was 2018. And of course, this is 2014. The difference between 2014, 2018, and now is we didn't have a blow off top like we did in 2014 and 2018. Even 2021, we had a muted high. And this time we, of course, had a much more muted high. But that goes back to this, right? Not just OG selling, but covered call selling, option selling. It's related. Is it the only reason? No, but it's certainly related. So that's certainly part of it. But none of this is bullish. It just isn't, unfortunately. Just kind of is what it is. Is what it is. Don't stop or leaving. Yeah. Metaplanet, good bounce, good bounce. I never fixed my audio. Oh man, don't tell me that. Nothing is worse to me than crappy audio. So what would I want to see to be bullish again? A weekly close above 100K. Like, there are going to be people screaming about this bounce, saying like, how are you not bullish? This is so bullish. We're not in bullish territory where it matters. Market sentiment just isn't there yet. I think the market, if we look at like the SPY, it just looks tired. Tired doesn't mean bearish. Tired just means non-trending, consolidating, chop. It's tried to break out a few times. It's just below all-time highs, right? But if this like sets the tone for a market, then the tone is just sort of lukewarm, milk toast. Who cares? Qs, same deal. Qs look more bearish to me, but not turbo bearish. It's not like BTC bearish. It's not like ETH or Sol bearish. They just look okay, right? They're not trending. So it's tough for BTC to do much of anything when legacy looks like this, in my opinion. Tommy wants to hit 30. What's super interesting to me is we effectively hit the 200-week moving average, like, already, right? In like 2 months, we hit the 200-week moving average. So that is pretty scary to me. That either means the 200-week isn't going to matter this time, or we're just going to bounce around here for a year, right? Between 70 and 50 possible. But again, this is another another back-tested. What's up, Dylan? Another back-tested thing that historically we sort of fall into it from a much higher level. So it could just matter a lot less this time. Look at 2018, right? Because if we lose the 200 week on apathy, just like silently and slowly, that is not good. What we saw yesterday was a very good sign that we had panic, we had people capitulating, we had people indiscriminately selling, whoever, retail, doesn't matter who. We had so many headlines about, MSTR is underwater, BMNR is underwater, ETF buyers are underwater. Oh my God, I told you so. What's his name? All the usual suspects, right? It's always the same people. They come out of the woodwork to say like, this is such a bad asset. Invest in my thing instead. They don't say that directly, but they are implying it. So I think we're just stuck here for a little while. We'd also talked about VPVR, which is the volume profile. One of the worries I had the other day was there wasn't any volume. There wasn't any volume here. There still isn't any volume there. So like we could go back to 80, bounce back down to 60. Like none of that is bullish. Like that is just a huge range. But there isn't any volume here from 70 to 80. There's nothing. Typically with VPVR, it's like support resistance essentially. So yeah, it makes sense that we fell back into this. That's where the support was based on volume. I didn't think we'd get there this quickly, but hey, here we are. What's up, Hammer? So 30K, man, I don't know. 30K is tough. That is deep. Something else for BTC that I like is the bottom. So we hit the bottom of the power law. I know it's probably hard to see. The bottom of the power law corridor is 59. So either the power law corridor is complete garbage and is dead, or we're going to figure something out down here. We've never really held below, I guess, for like a month, maybe. Again, it's tough because the high time frame supports all the back tested stuff. We're like almost there on the downside. The other thing was the two-year moving average multiplier. We're also in like the dollar cost average value zone because we're below the 2-year moving average. So I love DCA here. I said on a video or a stream, I like STRC here for cash. I like using the dividend to dollar cost average BTC. So for me, that means bi-weekly STRC purchases with monthly BTC dollar cost averaging on the dividend until this stuff starts to look better. That's it for me. I'm not doing anything super fancy, but it definitely looks like we're in some good DCA territory. When I back the truck up at 52. What's up, Nwanda? Got a list from Nwanda today. It's going to be a good stream. When I back the truck, I just want to see some decent consolidation without bearish continuation, just over and over again. So I don't know if I'd back the truck up at 52. Like, would I take my STRC cash and put it in more BTC at any level? I don't know. Like, a good day to do that would have been yesterday, in hindsight, clearly. Like, just because that was the worst day of the year so far, and it was the worst day. It was the worst day of the year since 2022. We were down 14% on the day. Huge. A lot of that also happened after hours, but I would love to see a div. I would love to see. I don't think we're going to see a lower low in the near term. It's going to be tough to push us down that far that fast in the near term. But if we got a lower low with a div, that's a huge sign for a bottom potentially. Look at this stuff here. in 24, we had 3 lows and we had 3 highs on, well, where's the 3 highs? I guess this one wasn't, but this last one was. Now that took months to play out, right? You had that plus a pattern plus the election, like you had catalysts, you had some fundamental stuff going on. We don't really have that yet. You know, it's early. It's super early. We just broke down from a bear flag. You know, it's like the bomb just went off. People are still evaluating whether or not they have all their limbs. It's going to take some time to assess the damage. So we'll see what this looks like on the daily consolidation wise. But I don't think 52 is a terrible level. It's just like, okay, we lose 50, then what, right? I don't know. 30? Like maybe what's his name? Who said 30? Somebody here said 30. Tommy. Tommy said 30. Man, it's going to be tough. It's tough because we don't know how much more indiscriminate selling we have in the pipeline. But this is a good bounce so far, for sure. Now we're getting calls for 43 and 52. Yeah, it's just tough, right? It's tough. You're just sort of guessing. That's why I think you just have some levels, have a bunch of cash, have some levels, and say, all right, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm taking the marshmallow tests, right? Maybe it's here, 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 right? You just spread it out. Just say whatever. Is what it is, right? And this is probably weighted heavier lower you go, I'd imagine. Who got margin called? What's up, Dave? People using leverage got margin called, certainly. Anyway. The other thing I noticed on IBIT yesterday was we actually reached, we reached it on spot after hours, but on IBIT we hit that level, this measured move level, on like during open hours, during market hours. There's still, you know, like what do you do here? Man, I don't know. Again, I want a div. I would love to see a lower low on less momentum. I'd love to see a lower low on less volume. This was the highest volume day for IBIT ever. So it's going to be hard to surpass that. So if we do get a lower low, that would be the volume div I'd be looking for. You'd have an RSI div. I'm not going to say impossible to surpass that volume, but it's going to be pretty tough. And if you look at the flows for yesterday for the ETFs, they actually weren't that bad. They really weren't that bad. If we look, this is far side, negative 434, like that's not bad. For yesterday's price action, we'll see what it is today. But the week prior was worse. I mean, we had an 800 outflow. We had a like 1.5 billion outflow week. Like that's a massive week. And we didn't even have a day like this. So in some respects, you could say, well, there's a bull div on flows because we had less outflows this week and price went lower. Anyway, I don't hate IBIT in this zone, but I think you just have to be disciplined about it and not go super crazy. A lot of people want to go all in or all out all the time, but I think we could live in this range for a little while. And again, this is not trend bullish, so you have to temper your expectations. 30 to 40, we could just live here, right? We could live here, reconsolidate, and break down again. That's possible. It's really hard to tell this early on where we're gonna go, but yeah, doesn't look. Yeah, we'll get a bounce. We'll see what happens next week and the week after. We'll see what happens in February. Doesn't look turbo bullish to me just yet. Jack to come in here and stick to the plan. Yeah, that's why nobody should listen to anybody else but themselves, and you sort of have to formulate your own plan over multiple years and say, okay, you know, I'm not going to trade my entire stack on IREN options that expire at the end of the week, right? Like, I'm going to do some degen stuff, do some non-degen stuff, and go from there. But if you're sloshing around your entire everything every day, you know, that's a recipe for disaster. Lots of people asking me about IREN, lots of people asking me about Metaplanet. happy to talk about it. I should have closed. So this was the day. What was this? Wednesday. Wednesday is the disciplined close day. Okay, I did not close that day. I wasn't going to close yesterday, hoping for this bounce. I'm still not going to close. I'm gonna hold this for now. If you're strictly being disciplined about it, you are already out of this thing completely. We're below the daily. We never did, by the way, never did get the bullish cloud. That was the signal to be fully in. But something else that's going on is like either software is dead because AI is so good, or AI is dead because it's bad, right? It's like people are overspending on AI. The capex is too high. It's somehow both right now. Like we're spending too much on AI and software is dead. So anything that's caught up in that trade, including IREN, including data centers, including some power stuff, right, is going to take a hit. Uranium is going to take a hit. All this stuff has been acting the same. This is uranium. Looks better. UUU is another one. This could still be a cup and handle. UUUU could still be a cup and handle. Doesn't look dead just yet. I like ads at 26. That would be the completion of the pattern. What is BABA? BABA, I guess, is AI. BABA looks better than IREN. But like, is any of this stuff, does it look good? Does it look ready to go? Not really. Not really. It's still possible that we just hang out here for a little while. But it's a tough market. Olympic corollary? I don't know what you mean. I have no idea. IREN, so any stop loss for me is always cloud-based, and if we're below the cloud on the daily, that is an exit signal, right? Look at BTC. BTC, crypto in general. To me, it's harder for me to trade crypto to the downside. It just is, because I'm like, oh no, this will work out. I'm just attached to it a little bit more, I guess. But post 1010, we'll go to Coinbase. Post 1010, we never closed above the cloud. We got close. So this entire time, this trend system is telling you, get out, sell. It's over. Right? Like, it might be over for 5 days. It might be over for a day. It might be over for 30 days. It might be over for 300 days. The cloud doesn't know that. But the cloud's telling you here, it's over, right? It's over. So that should always be a stop loss on anything that you're trading above the cloud. Now, to be fair to myself, I did close out a leverage and option stuff when it's pulled back. So I'm getting better at it. I think you always have to acknowledge what's going on here and say, all right, maybe I should close out my leverage sold position because this isn't going to happen. So I think you do have to move your feet on something once you're below the cloud. IREN, I don't know. I could close 25% of it, I guess, but I think it's fine. I'm a loser. I think it's fine. Stop loss for 33. Oh, okay. So originally the stop loss was this below the falling wedge. I guess I just didn't update it on the sheet. On the sheet, it should be 45 should be the stop loss. Anyway, let's go down the list here of stuff. So for BTC, like, do I have any ideas here? It's super long-term ideas. I don't have any short-term ideas. I like that we broke this parabola to the upside. We're not even above the hourly yet. I don't know. I got nothing. I'd love to see an Adam and Eve on the 4 hour. That's a V or a U. I'd love to see an inverted head and shoulders on the 4 hour. Anything, right? That's going to take a week to see what's going on here. But I got nothing right now. MSTR did hit a new low, which is good. That's what I want, right? Let the people panic. I don't own any of this stuff, right? Let it go to zero. What do I care? You always want to see volume. You always want to see panic. That's why yesterday being a record volume day for IBIT is great. Was this a record volume day? Not record, but it's up there for MSTR. Not a div, nothing. If you get a lower low here, you're going to get a div. It's going to be hard to beat yesterday. But there's nothing here. This was setting up for something. Didn't play out. we go again, right? We get another consolidation, we get another setup, we go again. Maybe this does something into April, May. You know, maybe it just like does whatever, and then your trade is in May. Wait for the fat pitch. Totally possible. But to me, the way I trade, there's nothing here. Metaplanet's another one. Yikes. If you're being, is this right? Oh, this is, okay, this is 3350, that's why. If you're being disciplined about this, you'd be out of this completely January 30th. Now, again, to be fair to me, I did close out half the position around that time. I did not close out the entirety of the position, hence why you see it on the sheet. If we look at the US version, it did bounce. This is a great place for me to lighten the load. So I'll probably cut another quarter to 50% of the position today, because the idea did not pan out. The stop loss clearly was hit. The cloud is telling you all you need to know. And, you know, that's that, right? It's black and white. It just is what it is. If it bounces to infinity from here, so be it. But that is not a disciplined idea for me to just keep holding this. Bounce already looks cooked. That's what we need. See, we need people like Driven by Moonlight to come in and say, oh man, it's so over. It's going to zero, bro. That's another thing you want to look for, is you want people to keep shorting. You want funding to stay negative. I think funding, let's pull it up. Funding was, yeah, so you can see how negative it is here. Even unpredicted, it's increasingly negative. That's what you want to see. Like, if you want to see a short squeeze, yes, I want everybody to come here and reshort the bounce, please, on leverage. So that is the highest on the daily. This is the highest negative funding on the daily since the bottom, well, since the short squeeze in April. And then after that, it's been like SVB and FTX blowing up. So this is decently extreme on funding. But, you know, in a bear market, when you look at 2022, you get peppered with days of negative funding kind of continuously. So if it's truly bear, just is what it is. But if we have any shot at all, would love to see people come in here and just reshort everything. Reshort everything. I don't really understand STRC either, but there's also a lot of panic. Again, it depends. How do you evaluate the risk of STR blowing up? MSTR blowing up. If you think MSTR is forever okay, which is probably incorrect, but if you think it's forever okay and never going to blow up, that likely means that the pref stack is going to be fine. AKA, STRC is going to find its level at 100-ish. You're going to get your yield forever, and everything's going to be fine. Now, if MSTR becomes encumbered for whatever reason, or they start selling at BTC, or BTC goes below certain levels, all these pref stack stuff are going to get just obliterated, right? Temporarily. It's sort of like Tether, right? Like it's a peg on a stablecoin in a way. If you look at market events affecting the peg, like, yeah, Tether on Kraken went to 97 cents the other day. Now, to be clear, this is like a completely different animal than STRC, but the pegs on stablecoins hold relative to the market's belief that they have the collateral. And it's, to me, the pref stack and MSTR is sort of based on the market's belief that MSTR is not going to explode. So if you think the market is wrong, thinking that MSTR is going to explode, and as something like STRC goes to 94, as it did yesterday, great buy, right? Because it snapped right back. It still has a 12% yield or whatever, 10% yield. So we'll see how this ages in 6 to 12 months if MSTR blows up. But if you've got a ton of money in STRC and MSTR blows up, yeah, you're probably going to lose most of your money, right? So there are risks there. There are risks there for sure. Is the current bounce short covering? Some of it is, sure. But I want people to just keep shorting, right? Keep shorting. Exited at 90K. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, man, Rivian. Ugh, what a mess. All right, so that's BTC, MSTR, Metaplanet. Again, I don't see anything on any. I don't see trades. I don't see setups. A lot of people playing the bounce. Cool. ETH equally just like what? Like tell me. You tell me. What do you got here? I got nothing. I got nothing. Do I think MSTR is going to blow up? No, I think MSTR is going to be fine. That's why I'm in STRC, which could totally be wrong, right? Totally be wrong. I think it looks fine. Like what is the trade here for ETH? I don't know. And this is like every alt is the same. I need a pattern. I need a div. I need trend. Nothing. You got nothing. So you tell me. That's why I get excited when we see consolidation, when we see a pattern, because then you can rate that with a risk reward framework and say, okay, entry, exit, stop loss, boom. But here you're just guessing, which some people are great at. I am not, so I just avoid it. But I don't know. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Let's look at BITU real quick. Just curious. Yikes. That's leveraged BTC. I did see somebody posted something on BITI versus, might have been BITU. BITI has the highest BTC effective notional ever right now, or as high as it did in some other period. And BITU has the lowest effective notional relative to another time period. So it's interesting how that's flipped. And it'll be interesting to see if this is a bottom. I don't think that's enough to like call a bottom, but it'll be interesting if that's the case. BITI still has this 31 to 37 measured move. Anyways, ETH also, you know, again, I would love for setups to start emerging on this stuff, but again, the bomb just went off, right? Like people are still looking for people in the rubble. It's going to take some time to figure out what's going on here. So, yeah, I got nothing, sadly. Maybe on the 4 hour. Now that's another thing people are going to probably point out is like, this is such a good buy. Look at the diag here on ETH. Could be right, could be wrong. If it's wrong, you know, where are you going? You're going significantly lower. So maybe you say, based on the weekly close, you start buying. But again, this isn't trending. Like, it's just chop. It's such mega chop. I don't like it. I don't like it. Call me a coward. That's fine. I don't like it. Daily's got nothing. Weekly's got nothing. 4 hour, it's nothing yet to me. I don't see anything there at all. And Sol, I don't know how Sol doesn't go to 50. It you know, talked me out of this. Speaking of megaphones or whatever, this thing, maybe, I don't know. Like what? What? Like, there's nothing here. There's just nothing here. And we can go to Coinbase. We can go to all these crypto charts. Coin looks horrific. Horrific. Yeah, you can buy it. You can think it's on sale. Fine. But not for me. Just ugly. Is that the lowest RSI ever? It is. I mean, that's something, I guess. Say, well, that's the most oversold coin has ever been since IPO. I just don't think that's enough. Now, you're not going to get a div, or you're not going to get a lower low in RSI on that. I don't think. It would take this thing blowing up completely, in my opinion. So if you do get a lower low here, across the board, I think that's a decent time, once the div is confirmed, to try. That's going to take probably at least a week or two. John Crooner. Love it. I'm short in 1x cash, right? Cash is a 1x short on crypto, on everything. So I'm not directly short. I'm indirectly short, for sure. You don't see a channel monthly. See, we're talking about monthly levels. We're in trouble, right? That's when you know we're in trouble. What channel are we talking about here? I don't see it. I mean, maybe there's some like, no, I don't know. I don't know. Like, where do I want ETH? I want ETH above 44, above 45. I'd rather do nothing. Like, there's a huge opportunity cost sitting in this, getting chopped up, and just wait for 2027 or 2028 when it hits 4,500, and then do all you want with your life, right? Go wild. Start leveraging your organs up there. But here, I don't know. I got nothing. Sol, we went over Ripple. It's just all the same right now. Everything is in bearish territory. Everything's been chopping around. I don't know. I don't have anything. I just don't. All of these either had setups that failed or just were straight nuking anyway to the core, the Goblin Town, and there's just nothing going on. So, just as an example, maybe for algo, if there is if I can find it, if there's a channel, like, is that a trade to take? I guess, but the cloud's going to tell you, right? Cloud will set you free when it's above the cloud. We're good. I got nothing. There's no patterns. BNB, what a puke that was. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Yikes. What's up, Ian? I think on-chain metrics are basically useless for everything, but that's just me. I'll look at them, I'll talk about them, but I don't think they're actionable in any way whatsoever. Especially now that we have ETFs. You're going to have a completely different on-chain perspective than you did pre-ETFs, especially for BTC. I mean, everything is completely different, in my opinion. You know, active addresses are going to go way down. New addresses are going to go way down. That's going to be perceived as bearish, but less people are using the chain because they're using the ETFs, right? Is that good or bad? I don't know. Just is what it is. Some people is hype. Yeah, no. I got nothing at all. So any alt you want me to look at, you let me know. But, man, what is ARK? This better be a bullish one. Okay, phew. AI rig complex. It's been around for a little while. That's what you want to see. You want to see price above cloud. I don't hate it. I'm not going to touch it, but I don't hate it. This is definitely a bullish chart. Yeah, let's look at miners. Miners, again, are in the AI data center. They aren't BTC. They really aren't. WGMI is effectively the index, the ETF. Most of this is IREN. Is this in bullish territory? No. Does it have a pattern here? No. Will it have an inverted head and shoulders above 50? Yes. Will it be above the cloud above 50? Yes. Do I like it above 50? Yes. That's as a group. So if any individual looks worse than this, then it makes more sense to just focus on the leaders. IREN, we talked about a bunch already. It's challenged here, right? It's got a bearish TK cross coming up. It's below the cloud. It's got a bearish cloud. A lot of hopium on my part that this is going to work out. I like it a lot more above 52. But I'm giving it a shot. Just like I'm giving Metaplanet a shot. We'll see. Wolf. Wolf to me looks much better than IREN here. I like that it's consolidating, or has consolidated. They've had some positive headlines. Is this anything, right? That's the other question. Does this look like anything to me? Not really. Just like nonsense. Turtle soup. Random walk. This might, you could measure this. We talked about inverted shoulders. Maybe it's just like a channel of chop. I don't know, but 14 to 22, 16 to 22. I don't think there's a lot of like Hail Mary charts out there right now. So it's more about just being positioned based on discipline in your system, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Dave's bringing up Bit Farms. Like, yeah, it bounced 26%, but am I going to buy this yesterday? No, never. 0% chance. So, for me, it just is what it is. This is still not a buy for me here. 4 hours bad, daily's bad. Right, it's like Oklo. I'm sure Oklo bounced a ton today. What is it up? Yeah, 14%. Is this a buy for me? No, it's not. It's just not for me. What else we got miner wise? Cores, nah. CleanSpark, no. This is up. What is this up? 20%. I don't know. Not for me. BitDeer, Cypher, no. Hut looks okay. I like Wolf better. I like trends. I don't like guessing. I don't like catching knives. These all look atrocious, right? They just look atrocious. Now, if you're super bullish, AI, nuclear data center, et cetera, then yeah, you're loving this. You're a pig in slop right now, but doesn't really bode well trend wise for me. Yeah, Galaxy. I'm sure Galaxy's down a bunch, right? Yeah. Like, you're down 50%. You're down 50% from January 16th. Yeah, it bounced 17% today. But is there a trade here? No. Has there really been a trade here? It's been a mess. We talked about this back here in July. It's been a mess, but there was a trade here. I don't think, to me, this again is nothing. I'm not somebody who's going to rush into these charts because they're down significantly. That's just not me. Yeah, I did see BTC below energy costs. Miners are struggling. That's another reason that you're probably going to see more selling to cover the cost of electricity and bills. Electricity is going up, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that collectively, everybody, thanks to the AI stuff. I was just going to look up, what is it? Hash ribbons. Hash rate fell a bunch because of the weather. A lot of the miners shut off because they're either asked to or they're paid to shut off or they're just told to shut off. But that's going to hit the network a lot, hash rate wise. This was the big weather event we had in the US. And now we have hash price at all-time lows, which just means the amount of hash rate you get paid is at an all-time low. So if you're a lower tier miner or an already struggling miner, you're done. You're gone. Like, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your loans. See you later. Thanks for playing. That's where we're at right now. Hash ribbons should be bearish here. Yeah. So this is a 30-60 day moving average on hash rate. And 60, yeah, is that right? Yeah, so the fast moving average is below the slow moving average by a lot, right? So until hash rate stabilizes, you're probably going to have a lot of selling from the miners. Because again, those miners that are blowing up because they aren't profitable, that's going to work its way through the system somehow. And if you just backtest this historically, generally you don't have bullish price action when hash ribbons are bearish. I haven't talked about it, but the COT data is also bearish here. Yeah, Ian, we were talking about that earlier with the 2-year moving average in the power law corridor. He's saying that the rainbow chart, Puel multiple, those are all looking bottomy. Even MVRV is looking bottomy, I'm sure. It's Puel. Puel's just basically, are the miners fat and happy, or are they stressed? They are definitely more stressed than fat and happy here. MVRV, let's see what it's at. Wow, 0.26. So other than COVID, when MVRV gets below 0, it typically takes some time to consolidate, aka bear market, right? Doesn't mean that's going to be a forever thing, but we're close to hitting that level. But it takes time. It takes time to normalize, to stabilize, for the sellers and buyers to come to an equilibrium over time. But yeah, we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Short MSTR, all in. It's just it's going to take time. That's why I'd rather risk something on a setup than just guess. Okay, so we went through miners. I haven't talked about it yet, but the risk off, risk on thing. This is not silver. This is a dividend ETF, which is not risk on. Now, it has been bullish and looked bullish for forever. It had this inverted head and shoulders characteristic to it. This is just one of them. There are many. Degrow is another one. This thing, look at this thing. Like, what bear market, right? It looks phenomenal. And that isn't even adjusted for dividends. So this, to me, like, people are moving from growth to dividend. This is dividend growth. They're swapping their NVIDIA and Mag 7 for stability, RSP is another one, equal weighted S&P. The non-Mag 7 stuff is doing great. It's doing real good. If you look at the Mag 7 ETF, in trouble. Just cannot figure it out. NVIDIA also, like, it bounced today, fine, but it's been dead money since July. More bearish than it has been here. Trend bearish, yes. Microsoft, look at Microsoft, right? Has this been a good trade to the long side? No, it hasn't. It's been all about consumer staples, dividend. Somebody brought this up last stream, I think. Coca-Cola, right? Look at this thing. Now, to be clear, for me, this is poison, and they are drug dealers, and sugar is evil. But the chart is the chart. So looks phenomenal. Still does. Still looks phenomenal. Pepsi move? It's just Pep. I forget. Yeah. Right. Looks great. And you can compare compare the slop bowl stuff to other consumer staples. Like this is probably closer to consumer discretionary. Chipotle. This looks good, actually, on the cloud. Not to knock this, but some of the other consumer staple stuff looks much better than this. That's just kind of where we're at right now. Zoom's up today. That's good. All right, let's look at the Nwanda list. You guys can toss some legacy tickers in here. Someone was asking me about these three, so I'll go over these as well. XLU, I think, looks phenomenal. It is, so it's a utilities ETF. It is in the AI data center build out category, definitely, but it's also defensive, so it's kind of both. This looks like a great consolidation. I love this above 44. I love it here a little bit as a nibble. XLE, I'm sure. Yeah. XLE energy companies, this is another defensive risk off. It looks great, has looked great. We talked about it for weeks. CVX is one of the main components there. Looks great. It's just some place to go other than treasuries where you're not losing, right? Risk off. XL, what's XLP again? Oh, yeah. Consumer staples. Yeah. Looks great. Again, this is not a risk on sector. This is a risk off sector. It's like what is it, WMT? No, I guess Walmart. Walmart technically is probably consumer staples as well. Looks great. Is it WM? Yeah, waste management, right? Everybody has to get their garbage picked up in a recession, in a bull market. No matter what, people are going to have their garbage picked up. That's kind of the staple part of consumer staples. All right, so that's XLU. AMD, hardware is tough. Hardware is tough because, again, are we risk on, risk off? What part of the AI build out inning are we in? There's that part of it. Technicals for this did look okay here, and then they just didn't go anywhere. You know, at 2:30, this broke out and then stopped. This to me is less of a cup and handle opportunity than UUU and whatever that other one was. It just looks dead here to me at the moment. I would want this above 256. I don't see anything here at the moment. Definitely in the zeitgeist of the market right now, but just challenged on the technicals. Micron's another one. It just looks late. You know, I'm not somebody to chase this. Not for me. Something more consumer stapley. ConAgro. Someone else brought this up last stream, I think. You know, this is just classic cloud stuff, right? If we find you have this huge channel and it broke up, looks good. mRNA is another example of that. Same deal. It's pulled back a bit. I still like mRNA here. Pfizer's another one. Looks excellent on high time frames. Now, these aren't like sexy names. These are dividend names. Looks great. See, listen to this. This guy's coming in here. That's what I'm talking about. Loaded up on loaded up on STRC calls like a madman. Looks great, right? I mean, that's similar to the tether and the peg stuff. You kind of have to be thinking about that. Like, where can I take risks that make sense if the market isn't completely dead, right? Yeah, what does Heinz look like? Again, consumer staples. So you can pull up the, what is the ticker for that? Oh, you can pull up the consumer staple ETFs and see what the components are and look at the individual components. But again, like you have a downtrend trying to end, a bearish to bullish reversal. So yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's go through the list real quick for Nwanda. Thank you for the list. Bunge. Looks a little late. Daily looks okay. Weekly. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Moo. Okay. Agribusiness ETF. See, again, is this like sexy stuff? Like flashy tech memory? No, it's like just basic stuff. I like it. A little late, but I like it. How's REMX doing? Yeah, it looks fine. No big deal. Boat was another one. The shipping ETF someone was asking me about. I like it. Wasn't there another? Oh, was it boats? Is that it? No. There's another shipping ETF, I thought. Maybe not. I like Moo. Archer Daniels Midland. I don't know what this is, but I like it. Huge inverted head and shoulders. Maybe the best chart of the stream, honestly. I don't think I need to draw this out, but yeah. Looks real good. Looks real good. Don't know what it is, but it looks good. Volatility on that today. Applied Digital. Yeah. It just feels a little late for some of this stuff. You just have to hope. Same thing with AMD, even IREN. Like, you have to hope all this AI stuff has another swing and momentum in it. It's hard. It's tough. Like, do we have another couple months of AI trades in us in the market right now? I don't know. If not, all this stuff is just gonna kind of just do nothing. Wolf, we talked about. It's up there with IREN. To me, is one of the better looking ones. Looks better than IREN. Just has to keep breaking out. Metaplanet, we talked about. Chemicals, FF. Don't like it yet. I think Dow was another example. Like, look at this thing again. Is this what somebody on the street corner is talking about, or at a bar? Like, oh man, I made so much money on Dow Chemical. No. But look, bearish to bullish reversal. Looks great. LYB, same deal. I think we've looked at this one a couple times. Same thing. Looks great. Bearish to bullish reversal. Love it. KRO. Love it. Bearish to bullish reversal. Like, I'm sure there's some like chemical ETF. I'm sure of it. What is this? I don't know what country. What is NSE? It's got to be a US. I don't know. Somebody can let me know. But I'm sure there's a chemical ETF that looks phenomenal because most of those look great. I'm sure the highest component is Dow. Sunrun, this has been a Discord favorite. Energy-ish. It kind of has this like huge cup and handle vibe to it, doesn't it? Kind of. IHSE. I don't hate it. I love it more at 21. It's kind of like FCell. What is FCell? FCell like collapsed, didn't it? Yeah. I'm holding it. It was $2,000. I'm holding it. I'm holding it. But yeah, it doesn't look great. What is AMPX? We've looked at that for like every week. Can't remember. Kind of cup and handle-y again, like with the UUU. I'm expecting all that stuff, if it breaks out, to just break out together. So I like buying highs and selling higher. Something like this. So 14, I don't know. Right here, it's just kind of in the range. Still bullish XMR. Unfortunately, XMR collapsed with everything else, right? So it's similar to ETH in that you're in this multi-year consolidation. The first attempt has failed, to be clear. I sold it at 450, so I'm out. The next attempt, I think it's worth setting alerts at 450 again. It may take another 6, 12 months, 18 months, who knows. I still like the target. I'm still bullish on the potential, but I don't think this is a trade at the moment on XMR. I talked about IREN a bunch already. FADA. I think it looks fine. It looks more bearish than I'd want it to look, but I think it looks okay for now. Now we're getting into like the actual bullish stuff. I hate Oxy because Warren Buffett loves it, but I just want to see him lose as much money as possible. He's retired. He made more money than I'll ever make in my life in 12 lifetimes, but Oxy looks really good. And any of these energy companies should look really good. Dino, what a great ticker. That's hilarious. Huge cup and handle on that. Daily breakout. Looks really good. Looks really good. XOP again. I mean, you know what I'm going to say, probably. Just a huge inverted head and shoulders, multi-shouldered head and shoulders. Looks excellent. GLNG, excellent. All this stuff should look amazing. Yep, APA, excellent. TPL, excellent. Texas Pacific Land. They look good. They all look really, really good. That's just where the market is right now. That's why XLE looks like it looks. All that stuff looks excellent. Healthcare. We looked at Moderna already. BTRS. Daily looks late, but weekly looks like it has some potential. I don't hate it. Pfizer we looked at. Love it. Love Pfizer here. Love Pfizer here. Halo. Is that an all-time high? I mean, it looks good. What does Matt say about Halo? Someone ask Matt. Matt is the biotech guru. Why don't I like Buffett? He made all his money off selling poison to people. Coke and, sugar. He's a drug dealer, right? I mean, just call it for what it is. He's a drug dealer. Supernus? Looks okay. I like the oil and gas stuff better. Twist. Yeah? How's BNTX doing? Not amazing, not great, not terrible. ARCG, just okay. What's the other one? BIIB, Biogen. Oh, Biogen. There you go. Nobody's called that one out. That looks great. A little late, but looks good. Again, like mentally contrast that all of these charts that I'm saying look good with crypto. It's night and day. It's no contest. No contest. All right, we still got a bunch here. Let's close out on the rest of this list. Medical Properties Trust. I like the pattern. Huge consolidation on this. Huge. I'll set an alert. I'll respect it at 560. Very interesting chart. Real estate. CCS. CCS. Okay, same deal. Kind of consolidating here. It's kind of like, what is it? MHB? MBA? What is, I'm going to blank on what it is. The ETF, the whatever. I'm blanking. I'm blanking on the blank. Some ETF I can't remember the name of. You know, a lot of these real estate names are consolidating really nicely down here. Toll Brothers. Oh man. Nice cup and handle on that. Looks good today. Looks good today. Starting to curl up. That looks good. That looks good. Again, it's not like sexy. It's probably more risk off than risk on. That looks really good. That looks really good. I like that it's, I like the pattern. I like the daily. I like the high time frames. I like the weekly. Looks really good. PSA, public storage. Nah, not for me. Metals, materials. Super thinly traded chart. I like it. I like Toll Brothers more. I like Dow more. I like Pfizer more, but I like it. Yeah, uranium, I think this needs a cup and handle vibe to it, so I would like it above 57. Not here. Same thing with UUU, we talked about that. Suncoke. Yeah. Yeah, looks okay. I think I like Toll Brothers more, but it looks okay. Sprott Silver. Yeah, I don't think silver, it's not for me. So there's really no convincing me that anything silver or gold has a trade here. The best trade that I didn't take was the cup and handle. Yeah, cup and handle down here at 50. I mean, that was the time to trade it. I just didn't pull the trigger. FCT. What is this monstrosity? I don't know, just it's a lot of chop. Doesn't look horrible, but Anterix. A little late. Looks okay. Still like Toll Brothers. Gonna sell Metaplanet for Toll Brothers when I finish this stream. That Cheesecake Factory. Speaking of drug dealers, I guess it doesn't look bad. It's bullish. Sadly, it's a good looking chart. Albertsons hasn't broken out yet, but I can see what you're seeing. I can see the vision. I don't like it yet. Still like Toll Brothers. Chemicals. Somebody find a chemical ETF. MPT. Gold, yeah, I don't. Gold and silver, I don't have a trade on. I don't have an idea there. Oh yeah, Gurn looks good. Gurn looks real good. Looks really good. Looks really good. All right, STM. Did we look at this one already? All these charts kind of blending in. Oh, and we've looked at this chart for like 4 months. It looks good. It looks really good. I like Toll Brothers better, but it looks good. Isn't XHB? Yeah. A Homebuilders ETF. Also looks good. It's got Toll Brothers in it, I'm sure. Cirrus Logic. I like it. I like Toll Brothers more, but this is good. Apple. You put Apple on this list? Come on. Come on. No, I agree with you that, I mean, we all need to root for this, unfortunately, to do well. I don't know what I would ever want this to look like to take a trade on it, but it is in bullish territory. I'll give you that. CSX, yeah, and again, another one we've talked about for many weeks in a row. Not sexy, just trains, right? Transportation. It looks excellent, continues to break out, looks great. We definitely talked about this last week. Last one, Forward Air Corporation. Interesting. Interesting. I'll put an alert on a higher high there, but I think the winners were Toll Brothers for sure. What else do I like? Chemicals. Yeah, I mean, this chart, it's a good looking chart. All right, a few more, we'll get out of here. Kava. Yeah, you know, is it slot bowl season again? What about Sweet Green? We try to trade on Sweet Green here, and that's why you have stop losses, ladies and gentlemen. It's down 50% from that. But this is the same story with MSTR, right? MSTR had the setup, didn't get it, and you might be in for a year of nonsense on MSTR. That's why you just don't do nothing, or you pay attention to the stop losses. Sweet Green probably above 8. What's another slot bowl company? Somebody can give it to me. How are trains? Trains are super sexy. You're wrong. You're right. Obio. No, this one needs time. I got nothing for you there. Oh man, someone just gave me a huge list. All right, let's run through it. Empower. It's at all-time highs. It's not for me, but I like it. It's good. ETN. Okay, this one I can get behind. You know, it's pre-breakout. It's got a pattern. It's got this mess of an inverted head and shoulders. I like it at highs. Looks good. Definitely. XLE, yeah, XLE is just a monster. XLE saving my bacon. CVX saving my bacon. Looks great. It's probably going to keep going past this level. Definitely risk off. Homebuilders, by the way, probably risk off on sentiment. You can check AI for that one, but I'm sure. Freeport McMoran. This is an XLE too, isn't it? It's got to be. Looks fine, you know. Looks good. Nextra, yeah, also looks good. I love highs. I love all-time highs. GEV is another one. GEV looks phenomenal. Love highs, love all-time highs, love patterns, love it all. TXN. Texas Instruments. Yeah, I'd rather trade Toll Brothers personally, but it's just it's been ranging for a long time. There's really nothing going on. GLW is what? Corning? Yeah. Again, AI related. Late. Feels late. Looks great if you're in it, but I'm not in it, right? The time to trade this was December 86. Corning does like all sorts of glass stuff, fiberglass, things you need for data centers, AI, blah, 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 blah. It looks phenomenal. Not a place for an entry, but it looks real good for sure. ETN. Did we look at this one? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, love it. You listed that twice. Okay. MG. Nah. Kind of a mess. Looks late. Yeah, GEV looked at. Looks good. All right, last one. RDW. Yeah. It's tough when I don't get what I want out of like the pattern. I just kind of write it off and say, all right, you know, I was wrong, and I can't willingly go back to trade this. It's kind of the same thing with Zeta, was it? Where it broke out and then didn't. Okay, you know, I cut that the other day. Roku, same thing, where it like broke out. Yeah, that was good job me for closing that out. Broke out and it just didn't go anywhere. I can't be bothered. I just don't care. if it's going to take 65 years to set up and then go nowhere, not a huge fan. Velo, someone keeps asking about that. Yeah. Similar to FCell, I think it just needs some time. It has a chance. The pattern is there. Yeah, Rivian I finally cut. I finally parted ways with Rivian the other day. I don't know. Again, if you take 35 years to set up, break out, and then go nowhere and give it all back, I'm not going to be happy about that, right? So, yeah, it's just a waste of time and money. Not for me, unfortunately. Lucid, it's probably still below the cloud, I assume. Yeah, no. This is just dead money. Look at this thing. Garbage. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks, Nwanda, for the list. And Toll Brothers. Again, it's not sexy, right? It's like just defensive stuff's where people are at right now. Take care.